everybody, Keren here from tuppenscoloured.co.uk, and thank you very much for joining me for today's project, which is this tall, slim gift box. By the time I post this, I will have attended my husband's friend's wedding, and they have a theme which is 1920s, and they have a dress code which is black and white, which is very elegant. Now, I have made this box to coordinate with this theme, and it actually holds a bottle of perfumed oil, which is part of their wedding present. It's not all of it. It coordinates with something else that we're giving them. So I thought we would coordinate the box with their theme, but because it's very difficult to demonstrate in black and white, I'm actually going to be showing you how to make the box in this colourway. So stay with me and I will show you what I did. I'm using this stamp from the Grateful Bunch stamp set, and I've already got it mounted up on my clear block here, and I've cut myself a piece of Bermuda Bay card which is 9.5 inches by 6 inches, and I am using Bermuda Bay ink. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to stamp a pattern all the way over my card, and I will give you some music to listen to while I do it, and I'll very probably fast forward this as well. While I was stamping, I missed a little bit there, but not to worry, because we can fix it. So I have here my Bermuda Bay Stampin' Right marker, and I am just going to go in and I'm just going to draw in the bits that didn't come out properly. And the Stampin' Right marker has exactly the same ink as the stamp pad, and it's the same ink as is in re-inkers. So I know that once it's all dried out, that is going to be a very good match, and if you don't know I did it, you probably wouldn't notice. Cut myself a little square of Bermuda Bay cardstock. It's 2¼ inches on a side, and I'm using another stamp from the same stamp set and my Bermuda Bay ink. Got my nice big daisy from the Grateful Bunch stamp set, and I'm just going to press this down on my Bermuda Bay card. I've got my silicone mat underneath and count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and there is the top of my box all stamped up. Now I'm taking my stamped card and now I'm going to score it. So I'm going to score at 2¼ inches and at 4½, 6¾ and 9 inches. And I've got my base card, which is cut at 4 3/16 of an inch. And I'm going to score at ½ inch and at 1 inch, and then I'm going to turn my card and I'm going to do the same thing again on the other 3 sides. So 1 inch, here we go, sorry, ½ inch and 1 inch, and one last time, ½ inch and 1 inch, and so I get that sort of pattern. As I was burnishing the folds on my box, I realised that I'd missed out one score line, so I'm scoring along the short edge at ½ inch. Here we go, and that is going to become the lid of my box eventually. I've burnished the creases in the box base, and I want to go ahead and cut an aperture in the centre of the base that will hold my bottle nice and securely. So I have my layering circles framelets, and ahead of time I've gone and checked just how big a space I need there, and I've measured it against my bottle, and I have decided that I need this one, and it was a matter of trial and error I just, put it up against the bottle that I'm going to be using to find the one that fitted, and it was this one, and as you can see, that fits quite neatly on my bottle of perfumed oil there. So I'm going to take this over to my Big Shot, and I will be right back. And there it is, all ready to be put together. I have my snips, and I'm going to miter this corner here. So I'm going to take a nice big chunk out of that, and now I'm going to do the same for the other edge, and now I'm just going to snip in as far as my score line along these edges here, and then I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to miter these flaps as well. Now normally when I'm making a box, I will say something like you only need to cut off a small sliver, but in the case of these bits of card, I do want to cut out, a good 45-degree triangle, because I want them to sit flat up against each other when I put the bit of card that is going to be the lid of my box on top. So I need them to be nice and neat, just like that. Okay, and then the lid goes on, so. Now I want to cut away the bits of card that I don't need, and that's these 3 little squares on the outside of the corners of the box. So I'm just going to start by snipping in, and I'm speeding up this bit so that you don't have to sit here and watch me snip away all of those edges. Okay, and once I've done that, I'm going to snip in just as far as the folds, and I'm cutting in to each of those flaps, and I'm also mitering the edges of the outside flaps. I want a bit of cushioning in the bottom of my box, so I've cut myself a bit of brown funky foam. It is 2 1/8 of an inch, and I'm just going to put some fast fuse onto the flaps of this box. Fast fuse doesn't want to play with me today. Let's get that started. There. Nope, doesn't want to play. There we go. There we go, that's better. And just apply some to each of the flaps for the box, and now I'm going to bring them all together and just line up my corners here. Here we go, hope you can see that. And there's the 4th one. So now I have all my edges on my support part, the lower part of the box, and I'm going to apply some tear and tape along the flaps. I'm taking my piece of fun foam, and I'm just going to put some adhesive onto the back of it. I'm using fast fuse because it's nice and strong and nice and quick and easy to use. As you can see, it's very, very sticky. And I'm going to tuck this inside the support piece. So I'm just folding back the flaps because I don't want to stick the foam in the wrong place, and I'm just tucking it inside just for now and folding the flaps back over. And I'm just going to partly remove the backing from the tear and tape. So I'm taking about half of it off and just folding the backer tape to the outside of the little frame here. Okay, and I've already cut my my base piece to 2 1/4 inches square. So now I'm just lining up my my little frame, and I'm just going to take quite a bit of time and just make sure that everything is lined up the way I want to before I press anything down. And once I am happy, I can push my fun foam in and just remove the backing strips from the tear and tape, and they pulls out quite easily, and just clear those little bits away, and that is the base of the box. I have the tear and tape already on the flaps of the box lid, so I'm just going to remove the backing from the long piece. Here it comes. And I'm just going to fold the edges over and just take a little bit of time to make sure that they are lined up nice and straight, because I don't want a crooked box, and just apply a little bit of pressure. Okay, so to finish it off, I want to make sure that my box is nice and square, so I'm using the base that I've already made, and I'm just doing the trick I did before where I just take half the backing off my tear and tape, and again using the box base to make sure it stays nice and square. I'm bringing back in the piece that I stamped earlier on, and again just taking a little bit of time just to be sure that it's all nice and straight and everything is square and I've got good right angles. And it is worth taking a little bit of time to make absolutely sure before you remove the rest of the backing from the tape. And there it is, job done. To finish my box off and to close it all up, I want to put a ribbon tie across the top. So this is our silver satin ribbon, and it is absolutely glorious. And I'm going to cut quite a generous length, that's probably about 2 feet of the ribbon, because I don't want to have too little. I would rather have too much and cut them away than have too little. And this stuff is absolutely glorious. And I'm going to lay this across this piece of card, which is 2 3/8 of an inch square. And I'm just going to put some fuse across the middle there. Put a couple of pieces to be sure. Right, come on. There you go. And I'm going to halve this. Just plonk that down, and before I stick it all together, let's just make sure that it's more or less even, which it is. So that is going to be the base of my box, and over here I have my insert for my box, and I've gone ahead and I've put some tear and tape down already. And if you're noticing that I'm now giving you live commentary instead of a voiceover, that is because when I was recording this yesterday, because I actually gave up, there was a road race, 10k fun run going on outside my window. And they had a very loud PA system. And when I played back what I'd been recording, you could very clearly hear the PA system. So I sort of gave up, but I didn't want to waste all the hard work that I'd done on this box. So I decided that I would just remove the soundtrack from the video and do a voiceover. But as I said, that was yesterday. This is today, and I hope that the noises off won't be quite so obtrusive today. Right, so there is the base of my box. Here is my gift, and the lid fits on my box. And now I'm going to tie my ribbon. We used to carry this in white, and if you did this colour with a white ribbon, it would look a bit like a very famous jewellery shop packaging, wouldn't it? So I'm tying a knot first, because this ribbon is very, very slippery. And I tell you what, I've cut only just enough, I think, but it is enough. And there it is. So there is my tall gift box with a lovely shiny silver ribbon and a pretty bow on top. And all I really need to add to it, if I want to, is just a tag so that I can write who the gift is from. And just let me bring back my original one. Now this one is in basic black, and the ribbon is our Whisper White organza ribbon, just in case you wanted to know. And that's really, I think that's really elegant. I didn't do any stamping on this one at all. I just left it, I just left the card as it was and just put the ribbon on it, and I think that is super duper elegant, and it will go with the theme of the wedding beautifully. But that is it from me for today. Thank you very, very much for joining me. If you want to find out more about me, my blog, my Facebook, my online store, there is more information below. Please do leave me a comment, press the like button, share this video, all of that good stuff. But I will be back again with you very, very soon, and I thank you once again for joining me. Bye-bye.